The March 3rd meeting of the MACOG TTAC committee. I believe we do have a quorum present. Next item on the agenda would be the minutes from the February 3rd meeting. Are there any questions or comments? If not, I would ask for a motion to approve the minutes.
Steve Moriarty, I make a motion.
Tim O'Donnell, second.
All those in favor of approving the minutes?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? If not, the minutes are approved, and we'll move on to the reports with Secretary.
Just a quick item of note. In your packets and online is the February administrative modifications. The administrative modifications are small corrections that this board and the governing board, the policy board, have given staff authority to make changes to the transportation improvement program. You can see what those kind of actions are at the bottom of your agenda. But the full listing of what was done in February is in your packet and can also be found online. There is no need to for any action on this item. It's more informational.
All right, thank you. We will move into old business.
And we do have an item of old business today. Tiara is going to present that. But just for context for everyone, typically the 5310 program is an 80-20 program. But due to the Corona response and relief, it's actually going to be 100% this year. So you might recall that you've seen these from last month, but I'll have Tiara go ahead and present and explain these. So Tiara?
Sure. So yeah, as Jay's mentioned, we did some revisions to previously endorsed resolutions 7-21 and 8-21. It was basically due to the appropriation of additional Section 5310 funding that was provided to NDOT through the CRISA Act. So the additional funds allowed NDOT to program unobligated Section 5310 funds at 100% federal share instead of the normal 80% federal share. So Resolution 7-21 for the endorsement of Elder House Senior Center to procure one local minivan will be done at 100% federal share instead of the traditional 80% federal share. Resolution 8-21 for the endorsement of the Riverview Adult Day Health Center to procure one local minivan will also be done at 100% federal share instead of the 80% federal share. If there are no questions about those, I would ask for your endorsement of Resolution 7-21 and Resolution 8-21.
Brent Warren, so moved.
David Armstrong, second.
All those in favor of the endorsement of Resolution 07 and 08?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? If not, the resolutions are endorsed. And we'll move on to new business with James.
Yep, we have a few items for new business that Ryan will largely be presenting. But before we get to that, we actually received an item yesterday, which is also a Section 5310 endorsement for the Council on Aging in Elkhart County. And we would like to add that resolution to the agenda. So we are seeking to add an addendum. It would be to add Resolution 1821, and that would be presented at this meeting following the presentation of Resolution 1721. So I'd be seeking to add that addendum to this agenda.
Do we have a motion to approve the addition?
Tim O'Donnell, so moved.
Ty Adley, second.
All those in favor?
Be seeking
Aye.
to add that addendum
Any
to this
opposed?
agenda.
If not, the addendum is added to the agenda.
Thank you. I'll turn it over to Ryan to present the kind of body of the agenda here.
Hi, good morning. I'll start with Resolution 521 in the Fort Wayne District. There are two resolutions there. Both are for concrete pavement restoration. The first starts with item A on US 20. It starts at the St. Joe Elkhart County line and runs to County Road 19 in Elkhart County. Item B, the second concrete pavement restoration is in Silver Lake on State Road 15. That is going to be let in 2022. I would ask for your endorsement of these two projects if there are no questions.
David Armstrong, wouldn't that first one also be part of Resolution 921?
Yes,
Instead of
I
521?
do apologize. I don't have at home. I don't have a copy of the
It would both be in resolution 921.
921. Yes.
So this would be items A and B of 921.
And David Armstrong, so moved for approve.
Brent Warren, second.
All those in favor of the approval?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? If not, Resolution 09-21 is endorsed.
So moving into the Laporte district, another NDOT supported project is a high surface treatment on State Road 17. There are three areas of interest here, all of which have presented an issue of running off the road. So NDOT has introduced the project of treating them with high surface treatment, high friction surface treatments. They are west of Culver. So item A on resolution 1021 is high surface treatments at State Road 17. If there are any questions, I can take them now, or if there are none, I will ask for your endorsement.
Ty Adley, so moved.
Tim O'Donnell, second.
All those in favor of Resolution 10-21?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? If not, the resolution is endorsed.
So resolution 1121 is the Unified Planning of Work Program, the UPWP. These are annual additions to the Transportation Improvement Program. So item A through C are all within the Unified Planning of Work Program. And item A is for pictometry, the biannual coverage of orthophotography and imagery that the counties have previously supported. Item B is for Partners for Clean Air campaign in the South Bend urbanized area. And item C is also for the Partners for Clean Air program in the Elkhart Goshen urbanized area. If anybody has questions, I would direct them to James. Otherwise, I would ask for your endorsement on this resolution.
Hello, this is Derek Spear. I had a question. The pictometry, is that usually the biannually we were scheduled, I think, to do this year? Is that going to be flown this year, or is it not until 2022 now?
No, so Derek, that will still be flown this year. This is for fiscal years.
Okay.
So it's programmed for our fiscal year because of based on when the flying kind of happens and the timing and everything like that. Usually that invoice is actually occurring in 22 for a fiscal year perspective. So it'll still be flown this spring. It's on target. For that, I had just kind of sent out recently to all of the counties kind of an update on where we stand With scheduling, it's scheduled for a mid-March flight as of right now. Obviously, that's pending weather conditions and cloud coverage and all of those kind of fun aspects. One new thing this year that we are excited about is that we have been flying 3-inch over the last from the last flight for the entire region. We're continuing to do that, but because of a new capture system that Pictometry is using, it'll actually be more of a 2 or a 2.5 inch. And also because of the new capture system, the old system took about 172 hours to capture all 4 counties' imagery. Based on the new system, it should take approximately 30 hours, which definitely gives us a much easier window to try and get good ground coverage and good weather conditions. So hopefully mitigating the needs for reflights. But yeah, we're still on track for this March.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely.
Hey, James, this is Tim O'Donnell. Feel free to fly as many hours as you'd like.
Absolutely.
Tim O'Donnell, I make a motion to approve Resolution 11-21.
Bill Holder, second.
All those in favor of Resolution 11-21?
Aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? If not, Resolution 11-21 is endorsed.
So we will move into Resolution 12-21. Item A, I'd like to note that there was a clerical error that was found after the agenda had gone out, and we will not be presenting that today. So we will move on in Resolution 12-21 to B through F. These are all for Transpo. Item B is it is a deletion of the project for the rehab and renovation for the transit facility in fiscal year 21. Item C is the purchase of miscellaneous communication equipment. It is an increase of federal funding by $318,000. It is a deletion of the item D is a new project being added into the TIP to acquire miscellaneous support equipment. Item E is a new project also being added into the TIP for the purchase of tire lease. And item F is not on the 5310 funding. It's 5339. You would have noticed earlier item B was to delete rehab and renovate transit facility, but this is to transfer fundings over to the different program. If there are no questions, I would ask for your endorsement for Resolution 1221.
Can we get an endorsement for Resolution 1221?
Brent Warren, so moved.
Tim O'Donnell, second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution 12-21 is endorsed. I will now move on to the 5310 with Tiara.
All right, so I have first up Resolution 13-21 for the endorsement of the Marshall Stark Development Center through Section 5310 grant application for the procurement of the following vehicles: 3 low-floor minivans with a lift and 2 12-passenger medium transit vehicles with a lift to replace aging vehicles in their fleet so that they can continue to provide adequate transportation services for individuals who depend on their services. And next, I have Resolution 14-21 for the endorsement of the Riverview Adult Day Health Center. They are looking to procure 1 8-passenger transit vehicle to help better assist them with the transportation of individuals who utilize their services. If there are no questions, I would ask for your endorsement for Resolution 13-21 and Resolution 14-21.
Tim O'Donnell, so moved.
Steve Moriarty, second.
All those in favor of the resolutions 13-21 and 14-21?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? If not, the resolutions are endorsed.
All right. So resolution 15, 16, and 17 are all related. So let me explain. Every year, the Federal Transit Administration provides an allocation or an apportionment to each urbanized area for transit funding. This is both a mixture of typical operating funds and capital funds. The FTA, though, does not provide an apportionment to each operator. It provides one number for the urbanized area. Based on an agreement that MACOG has with Southwest Michigan Planning Commission, kind of our sister agency up in Michigan, and then with the transit providers, what happens then is that MACOG does some analysis of the numbers. We put together what we call the split, which talks about how funds based on various data values should be split between rail and bus service. And then we get everyone together and we talk through the scenarios for funding and how we could divide these funds up. Each year, it's always a pretty amicable conversation. This year, the total apportionment, I believe off the top of my head, was about $8,000 higher than last year's number. So not exactly a large change to that value of the total apportionment being $4,332,175. When we ran all the scenarios and met with the transit providers, they unanimously agreed to one of the scenarios, which was to hold everyone at a certain percentage based on kind of previous split allocations. And so under that scenario, Nick did, the South Shore rail line would receive $1,342,974. Transpo would receive $2,729,270, and Niles would receive $259,931. If you would like, I could present the other two resolutions, and we could probably just do one motion to approve them all. So the next, if that's all right.
That's fine.
All right. So then the next item is also related to this annual allocation process. So the first item was for the 5307 funds, which are kind of general operating, general capital for transit providers. The 5337 funds are state of good repair, and those can go towards agencies that operate rail or bus rapid transit services. The only eligible entity in our urbanized area for these funds are South Shore. So they would receive the full allocation, which is $2,912,465. Resolution 1721 is what's called 5339. This is for bus and bus facilities. It can be used as previously shown in a different resolution. It can be used to rehab bus facilities. It can also be used to purchase buses, a number of different uses. It's not a large pot of funds. The total apportionment this year was $321,713. Transpo and Niles got together and talked about how to split those funds. You can see on the screen how those funds are proposed to be split, which is $261,713 for Transpo and $60,000 for Niles. I can answer any questions about the splits for 5307, 5337, 5339, about the process, or if there are no questions, I would be seeking your endorsement of resolutions 15 through 17.
Do we have a motion for endorsement?
Ty Adley, so moved.
Kyle
Jamrow,
Solis,
second.
All those in favor of the endorsement of resolutions 15, 16, and 17, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? If not, the resolutions are endorsed.
All right, Resolution 1821. This is the item that was the addendum. We just received this yesterday from the Council on Aging of Elkhart County. The reason that we wanted to get this on the agenda so quickly is to make sure that they could turn this in to INDOT for the Section 5310 grant applications. This is for one low floor minivan with a lift. It's a total of $47,000. And as previously mentioned, this call for 5310 has the ability to be 100%. So it would be 100% federal. If there are any questions, I can answer that at this time for Resolution 1821. Otherwise, I would be seeking a motion to endorse.
Brent Warren, so moved.
David
Tim O'Donnell,
Armstrong,
second.
second.
All those in favor of the endorsement of resolution 18-21?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Not, the resolution is endorsed. And we will move on to the staff updates.
Hey, Leah. I think you might be on mute.
Okay.
There we go. Now we can hear you.
Actually press *6. Okay. So wanted to give a heads up that the final and third round of Volkswagen for on-road and non-road vehicle and engine replacements is being released this month. And this is the last opportunity to take advantage of that funding source. There are anticipated to be some additional restrictions on how that funding can be used, reducing the projects that qualify for diesel to diesel replacement. So it's not yet clear whether school buses will be eligible, but since this is the last round, wanted to make sure folks are aware so we can start conversations now about getting applications ready for that, because we know mostly what to expect. So let me know if you have any questions. That's all from me.
All right, I wanted to make folks aware of a few procurement opportunities and planning kind of efforts that'll be underway. The first one is the Regional Disaster Recovery and Economic Resiliency Plan. This is a plan that the Economic Development Administration, USEDA, asked many of the districts to work on these kind of plans as part of the CARES Act funds that they provided to districts. We had circulated this amongst many of the economic development professionals back at the end of last year, asked for their comments and feedback. We issued this proposal opportunity in January, and those proposals are due today at 4 p.m. So we'll be taking those under advisement later today. I know that we have at least already received by mail 2 proposals. I know when we had the pre-proposal meeting, there were at least 12 consulting firms that were on that call. So I'm excited that this will be a pretty competitive procurement, and that hopefully we'll get a really good firm to work on kind of understanding the impact of COVID-19 and then potential ways that we could develop strategies to be more resilient in the future. So that's the first item. The second item that has recently hit the streets is for a regional freight mobility plan. MACOG has done some freight plans in the past, but at this point they are getting a little long in the tooth, as they are from 2004 and 2007 respectively. So we have decided to seek proposals for a regional freight mobility plan. That is out right now. It was issued kind of towards the end of February. It's essentially going to be looking at putting together freight profiles and understanding freight movements kind of throughout the region. It will largely look at on-road kind of freight, highway freight and road freight, not necessarily as much on rail and pipeline, but those we have also asked for as well to have some at least high-level information. It also would have some high-level information related to, say, air freight, but I know the South Bend Airport, the international airport, has done a lot of studies and elements related to that. So this would not be duplicative of any of those kind of things, more just kind of establishing an overall kind of freight profile for the region. This is due, I'm trying to pull it up right now. This is right now scheduled. I should remember, this is a pretty easy date to remember. It's due on April 1st. That is not an elaborate April Fool's joke. That is the actual day that it is due. It is due on April 1st. So that was issued February 23rd. So we're hoping to get some competitive proposals for that as well. Another opportunity that's not listed on the agenda that we are currently working on in collaboration with Transpo is MACOG and Transpo are designing a comprehensive operational analysis study for the transit systems that would be going out hopefully later this spring. So we'll report more as that develops. Those are all the kind of competitive planning and study proposals that are in development right now. So we wanted to make sure that you're aware.
So a quick update. We are currently in a public comment period for the fiscal year 2022 through 2026 Transportation Improvement Program. If you don't know, this program is a document that gets produced biannually and is in coordination with INDOT's State Transportation Improvement Program. So the public comment period opened on February 26th and ends on March 29th. And we do have an open house next week on Tuesday. It's March 9th from 3 to 5. You are more than welcome to join us. And if you know of anybody who might be interested in attending as well, feel free to invite them. You can find the information to join on our website. It's in the transportation page on, if you go down, there's a big blue box and it has public comment information on the tip and ways you can communicate with us and even sign up for that public comment period. So please share that as we hopefully anticipate comments on the program as we move forward.
Yes, so just a heads up that we are planning something for, can you all hear me? Oh. Yes, you can. Okay.
Yes, we
it still
can.
says muted on the screen.
You're good.
Anyway, we are planning something for Partners for Clean Air this year, even though we couldn't do something last year, whether that will be virtual or otherwise. So we're collecting nominations for the awards, and then we'll be planning to host an event of some sort on April 28th. So mark your calendars for that. And please contact me or just get a hold of MACOG, and we'll send you that nomination form.
All right, on to privilege of the floor and any potential public comments.
I did want to just report on one other item that we talked about last month that you all might recall. Under the coronavirus relief, what I was kind of calling CRRSA, if you will. It's the Coronavirus Response and Relief Supplemental Appropriations Act. So CRRSAA. So I just have shortened that to CRRSA. There will be funds for transportation not just transit. We've talked a lot over the last few months about transit funds that have been appropriated, but in that relief package, there was also funding that was made available for transportation. Last month, we reported on the fact that we're working with INDOT to kind of get those final numbers for the region. So we do have our number for the South Bend urbanized and Elkhart Goshen urbanized area. That kind of combined number of the total funding would be $2,627,575. That is 100% federal funds that would be obligated by September 25th, 2024. There's still some questions over the use and when you use them for infrastructure. Are they still 100% or do they require a local match? So we are trying to get some clarity on that before we hold any sort of additional calls or application processes or talk through with you how those funds might best be used, if it's through adding them to existing projects that already have a shortfall, or seeking things like our American Recovery Reinvestment Act style of paving projects. But we'll talk through that with you. We are continuing to work through that and kind of get you all answers, but we do have kind of a funding allocation. I know Kathy Eaton McCallop also has a funding allocation in the rural areas. I think largely she will be applying the rural funding to rural federal aid projects that are short funding right now. So you may, I haven't talked to Kathy recently to know how she would be advising folks of that, but just keep your ear kind of out for that. So just want to make sure that we could do a follow-up from last month's conversation related to that. That's all that I had.
Thanks, James. Any public comment? If not, we would just need a motion for adjournment.
Brent Warren, so moved.
Tim O'Donnell, second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we are adjourned. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.